you're back with us. We got a lot to get to. How many of you watched the coronation of the Antichrist? Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. King Charles. Did I really say that? Well, there's a lot of speculation out there. I'm not saying he's the Antichrist, but he would certainly go on the short list. But I would certainly say he is an Antichrist. He's an Antichrist. Did you watch any of it? Of course, I didn't get up in the middle of the night to watch it, but I watched some of the replay, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on. There was a lot of weird stuff and a lot of pagan symbolism going on in there. We'll get to some of it and some of the videos. But she says, why were a number of key female attendees in shapeless, druid-like white gowns? Past coronations certainly put the significance of female attendees in white gowns, but they were the white dresses of that moment. The headdresses that female royalty wore were traditionally tiaras. The tiaras, right? And she provides these old black and white photos of Queen Elizabeth at her coronation. And the women are all wearing fitted dresses. They're all wearing tailored and fitted dresses. They're not wearing what look like white gowns like you would see in some of the pictures that she provides of witches and druids and the Wicca religion, if you will. They were wearing fitted dresses. They were wearing the tiaras on their head. Well, that wasn't the case here. The year was 1953, and the cut and the style of the gowns are normally formal dress for wealthy women in that period. Of course, the sashes of rank and tiaras are specific to the occasion. And she shows some pictures from the past, paintings, all kinds of things. She even shows a picture of the coronation of King George III, 1761. Once more, the ladies are dressed in gowns and hairstyles of the style of that year, right? But then she starts to show all of these pictures of what the women were wearing with these white gowns that looked awfully odd. And she says, if you look at images of druid gatherings, you will see women and men in long, loose, white robes. You will see caps. You will see wreaths like the kind that Prince Kate and Princess Sophia and Princess Charlotte wore. Though in fresh leaves and flowers rather than in gemstones and feathers, Druid Britain is a pre-Christian Britain in which nature, groves, springs, rocks, trees is worshipped rather than Jesus Christ or the Judeo-Christian God. This is a Druidic ceremony at Stonehenge below. And she's showing them with their gowns, their white gowns, like maybe a white, for the radio audience, they'll think of a white gown like you would see maybe a monk or a priest wearing. That's very much what they look like. And then the flowers in their hair. She provides quite a few pictures of this. And she said, weird is the introduction of an elaborate, then she goes on to the introduction of the elaborate privacy screen. How many of you caught the privacy screen? Now, I have watched the video footage of Queen Elizabeth's coronation. I never saw that privacy screen. This was weird. And she says it. She uses that word. Weird is the introduction of an elaborate so-called privacy screen behind which the anointing of the monarch took place. Logan, are you keeping up with all this? You didn't watch it, did you, Logan? Are you keeping up with what I'm talking about, or are you asleep in there? Is this weird? It is weird. Contemporary news accounts claim that this screen is like the canopy that King Charles's mother, Queen Elizabeth, used in her ceremony. The anointing of the king or queen has always been at the centerpiece of this solemn ritual. The holy oil consecrates the monarch to the people and to God. Quote, the anointing is the most sacred part of the coronation ceremony and takes place before the investiture and crowning. The archbishop pours holy oil from the vessel into the spoon and anoints the sovereign on the hands and breast and head. The tradition goes back to the Old Testament, which describes the anointing of Solomon. Here's a video similar, ones are not easy to locate online, that reaches to the point of Queen Elizabeth's anointing. where we can see the invocation clearly. She is anointed. I watched this a few weeks ago, by the way. I think I was watching and she said, here's a video. Similar ones are not easy to locate online. It reached the point of the Queen Elizabeth's anointing. Now, it's all done without anybody being behind a screen, a privacy screen. We can hear the invocation clearly as she is anointed. Notice that's very key. We can hear the invocation clearly as she is anointed. Head, hands, and breast. While we do not see the anointing, which may indeed have been covered by a golden canopy, we hear it clearly. And you can see the golden canopy, it looks like, coming forward in the far back, top right-hand corner. She does appear to leave the presence of the assembled crowd. She's asked to defend God and the church. The anointing is described in real time. The word God is audibly invoked multiple times. The word God is audibly invoked multiple times. So, there was a little privacy screen apparently during one part, but the audio comes through, you hear the invocation, and you know she's being anointed, and the word God is audibly invoked multiple times. Not so with King Charles. In contrast, the anointing is drowned out as well as unseen in King Charles's coronation. King Charles, in contrast, requested an elaborate, embroidered, three-sided so-called privacy screen, and the event itself is now far more obscured. In a process that, to my knowledge, has never happened before, the anointing screen, as it was called, was produced in separate sections in Westminster Abbey and assembled at the altar. It shielded the monarch from view like a portable shower at the beach for the sacred mystery of the act of anointing. It also enclosed the words invoked over the monarch. So, we don't know what was said. Maybe he took his oath to Mother Earth. Maybe he took his oath to Satan. We have no idea. Maybe he took his oath to, again, Venus, Aphrodite, the Queen of Heaven. We don't know. You do know who his mother took the oath to. You heard it. You can hear it. One problem with the anointing screen is its obscurity. The moment now is not audible, and thus far less transparent to the nation than was the same moment when King Charles's mother underwent the same consecration. Indeed, the lovely sound of the choir singing Handel's Zadok, the priest, entirely drowns out the words of this recent anointing. This may seem like an extreme concern to raise, but is any concern extreme these days? If British subjects cannot hear their king's anointing, it is literally drowned out, starting at 2 minutes in the clip above. But the robust choir, how do they know what has been said? It could be anything or nothing. If King Charles's subjects cannot hear the anointing, how do they know to whom he has consecrated himself? How do they know if it is to the service of their God or of themselves? The anointing screen itself is weird. It has elements of the Ark of the Covenant as described in Exodus 25:10. It has poles of wood to carry it and cherubims at either end facing each other. The little cherubs, like the little angels. And she quotes from the Bible, talking about the Ark of the Covenant. But in addition to this, which causes the sublime sense of the uncanny, the cherubim make a first appearance in the Hebrew Bible holding the flaming sword to protect the tree of life from mortal sinfulness after Adam and Eve's first sin, when they were exiled from the Garden of Eden. And she goes on to describe. Weird is the mere fact that an echo of the Ark of the Covenant was created and brought into the altar of Westminster Abbey. Isn't that interesting? Weird, too, is the mere fact that an echo of the Ark of the Covenant was even created and brought to the altar of Westminster Abbey, which is one of the most sacred sites of the Church of England. Now, I haven't seen that part. I didn't have time because I had other things I had to do this morning. I did not have a chance to see that yet. Society in the 21st century. Visit earthcharter.org for complete information on the Earth Charter. The Ark of Hope also provides refuge for what they call the Temenos, T-E-M-E-N-O-S, Temenos books, images and words for global healing, peace, and gratitude. Over 1,000 handcrafted 8 by 8 by 2-inch books have been made by artists, school children, and citizens around the world expressing their individual and collaborative prayers and affirmations for the earth. The Earth Charter's 16 principles are the guiding vision behind the creation of these books. The Ark was designed and painted by Vermont, USA artist Sally Linder. It goes on from there. The Ark of Hope was created for a celebration of Earth Charter held at Shelburne Farms, Vermont on September 9th, 2001. The event for Love of Earth featured keynote speaker Jane Goodall, global peace walker Sadish Kumar, musician Paul Winter, and Dr. Stephen Rockefeller, a member of the Earth Charter Commission. Well, I've talked about Stephen Rockefeller and this Ark of Hope for years. And again, it's made to look like the Ark of the Covenant. And it contains the new 10 Commandments, if you will, I guess, which are now 16. Recognizing the United Nations is central to global efforts to solve problems with challenging humanity, the Ark of Hope carrying the Earth Charter and the books, the Temenos books, was exhibited at the United Nations during the World Summit PrepCom 2 in January and February of 2002. So there you go. I am rather certain that King Charles is very aware of the Ark of Hope. So for him to have what Naomi describes as the mere fact that an echo of the Ark of the Covenant was even created and brought to the altar of Westminster Abbey is very interesting. Here we go. Look at this. Is the Green Man British enough for the royal coronation? This was an article at the Slate, April 8th, 2023. Now, for those watching by television, you can see this, but for radio, I'll describe it. On the invitation, here's the royal family tweet. The royal family tweet, they tweeted out a picture. Okay, here it is. The coronation of their Majesties King Charles III and Queen Kamala, tomato, tomato, I don't know. They're both disgusting. I mean, think about where Vice President Kamala, how she got her start with Willie Brown. And then you think about Camilla. I mean, these are not virtuous women, in my opinion. These are not virtuous women. They both make me very uncomfortable. I don't like either one of them. I think the Bible would have a certain description for them. But anywho, here is the invitation. At the bottom of the invitation is this green leaves, and in the center of the green leaves is the eyes and the nose and the lips of a man. Now, this was at the bottom of the invitation to come and attend the coronation at the Abbey Church of Westminster on the 6th day of May, 2023. This green man. And you can go and you can look up what that is all about. And I think I did somewhere look up where'd it go. But I looked up what that was all about. Let's see, guys. Hold that down for a minute till I find it. All right, I found, here we go. Okay, you can put it back up now. Here we go. Green man. It's from Wikipedia. I don't get everything from Wikipedia, but this is pretty accurate because I found other sites that were saying the same thing. Green man is an architectural motif, most commonly a face made of or completely surrounded by leaves. The green man is primarily interpreted as a symbol of rebirth, representing the cycle of new growth that occurs every spring. The green man motif has many variations. Branches or vines may sprout from the mouth, nostrils, or other parts of the face, and these shoots may bear flowers or fruit. Found in many cultures from many ages around the world, the green man is often related to natural vegetation deities. Hello! natural vegetation deities. In Christian churches in England, the image was used to illustrate a popular sermon during the mystical origins of the cross of Jesus. In fact, if you do the old Control F, put in pagan, see how many times the word pagan pops up. According to a letter by Stephen Miller, author of The Green Man in Medieval England, Christian shoots from pagan roots. Christian shoots from pagan roots is a Christian Judaic derived motif, and it has pagan roots. Right there. Superficially, the green man may appear to be pagan, perhaps a fertility figure or a nature spirit. There you go. Some have described it in other articles I read today as the merging of so-called Christianity with paganism. The merging of Christianity with paganism. You see the word pagan is used many times. It's been described, the green man who's in the novel is portrayed as an ancient pagan monster. Modern paganism has used it. For the modern pagans, the green man is used as a symbol of seasonal renewal and ecological awareness. So good old King Charles put the green man there on his put the green man on his invitation. This is a weird dude. We're going to have plenty to talk about with King Charles around, are we not? Now, let me go to another thing I found today. Let's see, where is it at? Okay, this is gonna make you guys really interested. I'm gonna get you guys all to react when the phone opens, but I want to get Logan's reaction to this. Are you ready for this, Logan? Look at the screen behind him. You have what looks like a water fountain shooting up. There's a ring. There's a ring, and then out of the ring is shooting up what looks like 3 shoots of water. Some would maybe just, I mean, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like an old-fashioned water fountain, right? You know, you go to the park and the water's shooting up in the air on maybe 3 or 4 sides or whatever. But when you start counting the number of lines going up out of this ring, you get 6. 6 lines. And so you have 6, 6, 6. Count those lines, Logan, and tell me if that isn't 3 sets of 6. Sure it is. Now, I'm not saying that this is the mark of the beast. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the symbolism with these weirdos, and freaks, they love it. And don't think for 1 minute that someone along the way wouldn't have said, you have 6 rays or 6 lines 3 times, 6, 6, 6. You know what? We might want to change that, because as soon as we put that online and put that all over the international media, people are going to notice those are 3 sets of 6. 6, 6, 6. Now, I got another picture of it. Let's see where it is. I got another picture that's more, well, here's a video. Here's a video of it, and here's Charles talking. Prince Charles makes radical call for green taxes after flying to Davos on a private jet, and there it is behind him. I don't know if it'll play or not. Let's see if it'll play. Here we go.
In the midst of a crisis that is now, I hope, well understood, global warming, climate change, and the devastating loss of biodiversity are the greatest threats humanity has ever faced, and one largely of our own creation. Now, I have dedicated much of my life to the restoration of harmony between humanity, nature, and the environment.
Oh, yeah. Harmony between, what did he say, nature and what? Listen again.
Economic model. Therefore, to move, in order to secure it is time to take it to the and to the encouragement of corporate, social, and environment ever faced.
Hang on.
And one largely of our own creation. Now, I have dedicated much of my life to the restoration of harmony between humanity, nature, and the environment.
Harmony, nature, and the environment. Humanity, is that what he said? Humanity, nature, and the environment. That makes much more sense. Glad you're in there, Logan. Oh, spot a tea, my lovely. So this guy is a pantheist. I guarantee you he believes that all is God and God is all. God is in, pantheism, all is God. Panentheism, God is in all. I guarantee you he believes this. He's into interfaith dialogue. He had all the different religions represented at this freak show.
And to the encouragement of corporate, social, and environmental responsibility.
Yeah, that means ESG, environmental, social, governance, your ESG scores, which is what some are saying. Not that I want to promote, I don't even want to name the name, but the beer company that recently went all in on the whole trans thing and are crashing their market. Some are saying they did that. Forbes magazine has an article stating they did that because they're trying to get their ESG score with the government up. Have any of you heard that? That they did that to get up their ESG score, their environmental social governance score. Oh yeah. And King Charlie is for Charles in Charge here is for ESG scores. Charles in Charge. That may have a whole new connotation in pop culture. Charles in Charge, because he wants to dictate and control our entire lives. He's for the ESG.
Quite frankly, it has been a bit of an uphill struggle. But now it is time to take it to the next level. In order to secure our future and to prosper, we need to evolve our economic model. Therefore, to move...
Evolve our economic model, which means this dude wants to throw out the free market system and go to communitarianism, big government, big business.
Forward, we need nothing short of a paradigm shift.
Oh, yeah.
One that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace.
From a guy that couldn't run a hot dog stand if his life depended on it. But he's going to all of a sudden tell us how to run our lives. So let me show you another graphic, another one that shows that more clearly. You'll pull that down, guys, and I'll show you another one here. I got it somewhere. I did a lot. I pulled up. Oh, there's a bigger image of the. There's a bigger image of the 666. The 6 rays shooting up in 3 columns of 3 columns of 6. All right. Here we go. Headline from LifeSite News. King Charles helped organize original Great Reset meeting with World Economic Forum during COVID-19. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You want to hear what he had to say then? Listen.
Case, we have no alternative, because otherwise, unless we take the action necessary and we build again in a greener and more sustainable and more inclusive way, then we will end up having more and more pandemics and more disasters from ever accelerating global warming and climate change. So this is the one moment, as you've all been saying, that we have to make as much progress as we can.
All right, whatever. So he went on to talk about the fact that we've got a problem with Mother Earth here. This was the result of the whole crisis. Oh, here we go. Look at this. I found it, Logan. This member of the British royal family has a vital message if we're to save the planet. Look at those. That's clear as a bell right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. 666. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's the mark of the beast. I'm just saying it's weird. And don't think that wasn't. It's right above his head. I mean, this is weird. The symbolism these people are into. And then Naomi Wolf goes into the fact that some of the women were dressing like men, and even had one lady carrying the train of a man. Phone line's open.